Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker channel. You came back. Why? Why? I'm sure glad you did. Well, my co-host must be asleep. I sent it to your email. Did I not? Could have swore I did. Sent to Jason, StreamYard. Just press on this link. It works too. Just type on, just press that link. Okay. Yeah.
It does take me a minute to get everything open up there, bud. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever been abandoned?
Your email had no link in it. Just blank email.
It's I'm not perfect. I don't know what to say.
The had to put in the email was the link. There's nothing else there.
I rarely make mistakes, so I'm pretty surprised.
I
know it's not like me to make a mistake.
Huh? How'd you end up in charge of IT on this operation?
That's a good point. So what coffee mug you got today? Oh yeah, the
It's my favorite. Oh yeah, nice. Where'd you get that?
I don't even know. Somebody random.
So I think I'm going to be getting an eBay for business mugs. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Just go around. Yeah, I'm on eBay.
Yeah.
So you know.
Sell stuff.
I talked to the vice president. He's we're kind of tight.
So. Yeah, I sell used hats and old phone cases. Pretty much run my own business. So.
Hey, how's it going, Glenn? It's not showing. At work, yeah, you're always at work. I sent him a really cool. Was it a shoot? Trying to remember what Michelin hat I think it was, or what was it? It was a cool hat, kind of like the one he's wearing right there. And he traded me a jacket, and it was a jacket from Branson, and like an old 1980s jacket, like a light teal color. And he was like, some kind of, it was like a security jacket. It is cool. It is super cool.
What did you send that for?
I sent him a hat.
But why?
We just traded because he collects those kind of hats, and I was like, yeah, why not? I'll probably get $25 on eBay for the hat, but the jacket's probably about the same. It is the Goodyear picture. Okay. I was thinking it was a Goodyear, but I didn't want to say that. Yeah. The hat was awesome. The big, huge patch and the white on navy blue is cool. Got a big day of shopping there, bub?
I do. Sorry, I'm opening up my. I got the second window open so I can actually type in the comments today. So.
Oh yeah.
I was afraid to do it last time because if I were to open it and have the sound on, it would start echoing. Yeah. What's going on? Who is that?
No one here. Doesn't matter.
Tone it down. You're doing it wrong.
People love telling you do it wrong.
Yeah.
Especially me.
Yeah. Are you okay doing this early? Have you got enough work done for the day? You're not going to be too cranky, are you?
I slept in till 10. I just woke up, but yeah.
I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep.
Oh,
and it was the first time that's ever happened to me in my life, I think. I can always go back to sleep.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I was having a panic attack because I wasn't prepared for the show or Christmas.
Happened to me once when I used to shoot heroin all the time. And when I stopped, I
started sleeping again.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't think you would be awake when you did that. I thought you'd pass out.
I never slept.
I woke up at like 4 and I was just like so awake. I could not go back to sleep. I don't know. Yeah. Then I fell back asleep at I slept for like another hour and I got up at like a little before 8. So.
I was wondering, no, you didn't contact me. I was starting to wonder if you were asleep.
I got sat in my chair about 30 seconds before you saw me on here. Yeah. So that's how prepared I was today.
There's a show about nothing, so prepare for nothing.
Well, I'm totally ready. I do have some things wrote down that I want to talk about, but I'll wait a few minutes. Yeah, we're going to go hopefully finish some Christmas shopping today and go down to the city and
nice.
Get myself a Thai tea.
God, I love Thai tea. I went to my sushi place for Brian's birthday. And the month before I went to a Thai place and I talked about it all week. I was going to get a Thai tea and I forgot. He got there. He's like, "You want to drink?" I'm like, "No, I'm not drinking any alcohol." And I forgot to order my Thai tea. So I go to the Japanese sushi place and I'm like, "You guys have a Thai tea here?" And he looked at me like, "What?" I'm like, "Never mind. This is Japanese. Just hope."
It's that part of the world. I mean, don't you guys all do that? No.
You guys have any burritos? This is a Korean place. So no burritos.
Right.
No salsa, nothing. Look at this Shania Twain VHS.
Looks like it's in perfect shape.
Yeah, she was
brand new or what?
She was gorgeous. What year is this?
95.
86?
What?
95.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's how smart I am.
Yeah, you're actually, yeah. Do you work for the government? You read minds?
Can't tell you.
Do you read minds or are you just that smart?
It's funny. That was just a good guess.
Yeah, I figured. Look at this. I got a record lot one time and they just threw this in because they didn't have the record. But I was like, oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, wow.
Let me.
Man, his records were like, the album art on his stuff was crazy.
Look at her.
Yeah. Kind of attractive yet kind of scary.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Anyway, I was like, yeah, I'll take that. Here's his other one.
Yeah, I had that CD.
Yep.
Blizzard of Oz. That's the one that had Mr. Crowley and.
Yep. Mr. Crowley.
That one. Did it have War Pigs on it too?
No, not
called War Pigs.
I don't think so.
What was the song actually called? War Pigs.
No, it was called Mr. Crowley. There's a song called War Pigs, which is one of their best songs.
That's what I'm asking though. There was one called War Pigs, right?
Yeah, there was one called that. I'm not sure it's on that one. I don't know.
Is that the one that was like in the fields of bodies burning, the war machine keeps turning?
Yeah.
I was gonna sing it out loud, but I figured I'd butcher it. So
it was one of those songs I always thought was like he was like glorifying, the war and stuff. I didn't realize it was like an activist. He was an activist against war.
Morning, Jen. Thanks for joining.
Hey, how's it going, Jen? Good to see you for a minute.
Remember me and Casey used to sing that song all the time.
In the fields of bodies burning.
Just trying to be ridiculous.
I remember Mike Cavanaugh. He was substituting for Mrs. Ball in English class, and we were sitting. Me and Graves were sitting there singing. I think it was War Pigs, and he stopped us. He goes, "Guys, the lyric is." And he said it. We're like, "You're the coolest teacher ever," because we were singing it wrong. Like, I had no idea. I just had no idea how cool he was.
You just reminded me of when I first started working at Applebee's when we were in college. I was working a Sunday morning, and they always did brunch. And remember, they did jazz. And his name was Aaron Otten. He was working brunch shift, and I came out, and he had something that was Ozzy Osbourne playing out front, and I was like, "Hey man, why are you playing Ozzy? It's like Sunday." He said something. Why not? It's Sunday or something. Like, okay,
yeah, why not?
I feel like someone's gonna get in trouble over this, but it sounds fun to me. So whatever. Morning, Harry.
Hey, Harry. I saw your pickup today. It was pretty awesome. I didn't get the comment. He got all kinds of. He got 3 planes, those wood planes, and then another cool antique piece, and then got a whole box full of vintage, like 1980s Transformers. This is cool. Seeing some of those, I hadn't seen some of those old toys in a long time.
Harry, that is one interesting avatar pic you got going on there. I like it.
Yeah, I haven't been to any garage sales or anything in 2 months. I've got so much crap coming to me, you wouldn't believe. Oh yeah, that's the Harry Humstone Adventure channel. I was thinking he changed it.
Stung by what was that movie? Was it Martin Short where he was in the airplane and he got stung by a bee getting on? And he was like,
keeps swelling up.
His face got huge. And he was like,
yeah.
I think it was Danny Glover turns around and looks at him. Oh my God. He's like, what? His face is all swollen. Oh, I feel fine.
Old 80s.
Yeah.
Same time as the Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone. That was like one of the worst movies.
Is that the arm wrestling movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
It like had the same theme as Rocky, but he was an arm wrestler.
Once again, that's the same guy. He's the guy that plays the same character in every movie, but we still love it. So, we talked about the Rock and Clint Eastwood, and who else did you say?
Bill Murray and
Chevy Chase. Yeah,
they always take the same roles. Have you ever actually read the story about how Sylvester Stallone got he sold the rights to the movie Rocky?
I think you told me about it, but you can talk about it again if you want.
Yeah, it was just cool. I mean, it's a way better story than Rocky, like how he got it there was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
he sold his dog because he had no money to a random guy at the liquor shop just to keep going. And he even got offered like $100,000, and he said no because he wanted to play the role. And they're like, you're saying no, and you've never acted or nothing. He's like, yeah, but I want to play the role. So he held out, and it worked out pretty good for him. He went back and bought his dog for a lot more money, and the dog actually was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it was a pretty cool story of like how persistent he was to get it out there, and it was good. That's how I actually found Harry back in the day. Was one of the things I used to like watch him do. He would go to restaurants on the East Coast, and he would rate them on how good they were. It was funny. So now he kind of moved that to this other channel.
I was just trying to look that up. I didn't realize he had 2 channels.
Yeah, and then like he does like hiking trips up in the like upper New York, upstate New York, and places, and so he kind of puts that kind of content on there too, because he used to put it on it, everything on there. But it's good to have Jennifer in here. I don't get to see her very often. I don't go into Cajun resellers and adventures in reselling as much anymore. She's usually in there, and she doesn't like auctions. So
I found it.
I just got demonetized. Thanks a lot, bud.
I was trying not to do that. I subscribe to everybody that I see.
No, I'm just messing. I'm not monetized, so
great. There goes a month's pay. Thanks a lot.
Thousands of dollars out the drain.
Down the drain.
Yeah, down.
Out the door or down the drain. Not.
Thanks for being so critical. I appreciate it. Make me look stupid. I appreciate it.
That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. Well,
in case they missed it, I just wanted to point it out to them. Mountain climbing videos. Yeah, cool. Upstate New York is beautiful. I've never been there, but.
So how do you know how beautiful it is?
Because of Harry's videos.
I've been there.
If it wasn't for Harry, I wouldn't even know.
I've been to the northern part of New York.
That's right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and it kind of looked whatever.
It sucks. So everything I've said today is wrong. I get it.
Yeah. No, actually, most of the United States just looks the same, except for when you get to like Wyoming or the mountains. Even parts of California just look like Missouri until you get to the mountains and the really cool areas. But a lot of it just looks, which I was surprised when I started traveling a lot. I was super excited to see things, and it's like when you're driving down the highway, you're like, oh yeah, Dairy Queen and a Phillips 66.
Yeah. I
thought Colorado was going to be better than this, but I mean, obviously there are parts of it that are way
right
where we live. But
I went to Germany, so it was my first flight. It was my first time out of the United States. I landed in Germany. I'm like, this is exactly like northern Missouri. I mean, it was like, now I know why the Germans settled in northern Missouri, because it's literally the same thing.
One thing I did notice about when I was in New York, every town you would go in, like it was like parking meters everywhere. There's nowhere you could park anywhere without paying. Even I went to a small town, like the size of, I was going to say a name, but it'd be, 5 to 15,000 people towns. And there's still, you go to downtown and there's a bunch of one-way streets, and it was all like metered parking.
Like you're in the drive-through, you have to put a quarter in. God.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. They say that's how Chicago is too. Like really bad. Just everywhere is meters. Do people even carry change anymore? They probably have a swiper for your card now.
They do, actually. It's an app. You didn't know that?
No.
You don't get out much.
I don't get out much.
Yeah. Actually, it's an app, and it syncs to you. You can just go in, and it's like, you just have money on it or a credit card, and you just pay for minutes, and
Yeah, I just cuddle with my dogs and
You
sleep
do
in all
need for
day.
listings and look for records online. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
I've got a huge shipment of stuff from Mr. Buys a Lot. I spent $75 on this huge box of Shackman ornaments and Shackman products.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like from the mid 90s, and they were kind of like copying like Victorian style art. It
Mm-hmm.
was super cool. And it's all new, and they have barcodes. So I can just barcode it, take a couple quick pictures, and list it so fast and easy to store. And I've sold, I had like 20 pieces, and I've already sold 10 of them in the last couple weeks. A lot of them are Christmas, but there's some Valentine stuff in there too. So they might take a little while to sell, but there's a lot of duplicates. So I'll just be able to relist, and use the same pictures and stuff. So that's really handy.
Yeah. Are you going to be putting some of them in your booth too, or all on eBay?
Um, there might be some I put in my booth. We'll see. I don't have much room in my booth. I don't know. I've got a jam pack full, and I've got so many other things. When it comes to smaller, there's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna take out of my booth to sell back on eBay, because a lot of it I didn't want to put on eBay because of the shipping, but anymore I'm so used to it's so easy to ship on eBay that like it doesn't even bother me anymore. Just make them pay for it, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I love Victoria, but I don't really. Their chat doesn't really. I don't know. She's never. They're always just kind of, I guess, doing like we do. Don't really talk about reselling much, just some. But well, what did you want to talk about? You said.
I was just going to ask everybody if they had. I had noticed. So I was listing those. I got those. I lined up the hats and aprons from. I'll just say my other employer. I'm going to be listing. I have the hats and aprons. I'm going to be listing, and I had done a sell similar um, to start one of the listings, and I got to looking at it, and I noticed that the category that it was in was different than probably what it should have been in, and I didn't catch it. And it was in more like a personal hat category, or no, the aprons. So it was in a like a personal cooking like category when it should have been in like a uniforms or a
Yeah.
commercial. And I looked at the commission that eBay charges, and it was 2 or 3% less. And I didn't catch that until like maybe 5 minutes before I listed it. And I was just going to ask if anyone or wanted to bring that up and see if
That's
everybody should
interesting.
look at, or
I
if
guess
it's
you could. I guess you could manipulate it if you knew the cheaper categories, put it in weird
yeah.
categories, and
I mean, if you're going to sell a high quantity of something, that's like a lot of changed your income by a lot, or your
yeah.
by a lot. It could.
But if it takes away from people finding your product, though, like it's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah,
But
but that's the other thing. I actually had it in the wrong category. It wasn't. It was just in like
gotcha.
a cooking and aprons category when it should have been in like a. I can't remember what it was called. It was commercial uniforms
Yeah.
category,
Um,
but you can only
yeah.
put it in one.
Yeah,
And if you can add
I've noticed that before
add
too. That's why I don't like
a-
doing sell similar unless it's like, because you still have to go back over and look at it. But if they filled the whole thing out and the stuff that I wouldn't even fill out, I'll use it and then just change around a few of the things.
Yeah,
I've noticed a lot. You'll sell similar, and you can see they put the wrong category by a lot. You're like, what are you doing?
yeah, and on the item specifics, there's so many things that are in there wrong. And I've been listening to a bunch of those eBay for Business podcasts, and they say over and over again not to put like NA in there,
Yeah.
and so many people put NA. So on a lot of the ones I've done, I have to go in and take all that out. So it would be easier just to do a fresh listing every
Build
time.
your own. Yeah. They say not to use NA, huh?
Yeah, they said that because that it like hurts the algorithm because no one searches for NA. So if it has that in there, but no one would search for it, then it pushes your listing down further.
Huh.
So they say they say that you should fill out anything you possibly can on that, but not ever put NA. Just leave it blank. If
Yeah,
it
but
literally doesn't apply.
Well, I have to put NA sometimes because it'll be like item specific required soon, but it's literally an NA thing, so I have to put NA sometimes,
Well,
or else they'll
doing
like put it in big red and shit, and then I just kind of have to, but I try not to. I mean, I just leave it blank when it's the required soon ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Johnny's because, well, I have a link sharing addiction. Yeah. Well, I appreciate, like, in Johnny's, they always want you to, they're trying to get build everybody's channels up and stuff. And so people he'll ask them to go watch, go put your videos on and watch them to give you watch time hours, to try to get you to 4,000 hours and stuff like that. And the more I've studied YouTube, I mean, that's not going to do that much good because once you get monetized and they stop watching you, then you don't make any money anyway. So it's better to spend your time trying to make better videos than it is to go and watch other people's. I don't know. It just feels weird to not, just to have it in the background and not really watch it. I don't know. And I understand why people are doing that because they're trying to grow their channel at the beginning, but it's not really helping you that much if you get a bunch of new subscribers and then they don't really watch your videos, And then a lot of people put it on mute. And if I remember right, if you put it on mute and you're watching it, it doesn't give you the watch hours. So they're always just talking about that all the time. I'm just, I don't know.
What was that one thing called that we used to mess with when we first started doing YouTube? Was it Pusa Live Studios or something?
Yeah, Pusa.
What would they do? Like constant shout outs? There'd be like 1,000 people in there. It's so weird. And you're just like, hey, and they would never do anything.
Yep. Yeah. And they got taken down by YouTube because they do not want that, because it's the same thing. You just have a bunch of empty subscribers who never watch. You have 10, because I've seen that on some channels where they have 10,000 people and they only get like 20 people watching.
Right.
And it's because of that right there. And Pusa was just doing that so they would get super chats, and people were just getting free money to give them shout outs, and they would do that. What did they always do? Oh, super.
Oh yeah, but they had like a wheel too, didn't they? Like a wheel.
Yeah. It's hard to remember.
They would enter your name into like this software, and they had that sound like a wheel spinning.
And they would highlight your name and have people go and look at. They kind of, that's what they did. They kind of covered the whole thing by they were trying to tell you what you could do better on your channel, and they would tell you, oh, you need to do your artwork better and this and that. And hey, Kevin, good to see you. If he said he never watches or comments on my videos, I still watch. I just don't I don't always comment.
Anthony never interacts when you comment on his videos either. I'm sick of it.
I always do. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you actually comment too much. We need to cut that.
Cut
it back,
bub. Dial it back there, bub.
I got caught the other day watching Kevin's videos for like 2 hours. I got stuck in one of his garage sale videos, and I just ended up staying up late, and I got sucked in.
I stopped watching him because they're too good, and they make me feel bad because I can't source like he does.
Right.
He always finds like $2,000 items and stuff. He pays $10 for them. He tells me that there's no good garage sales around him.
Right.
No, I still watch for sure. Him and Lonnie.
Yeah.
I don't watch Cincinnati Pickers much, but he don't put out that many videos anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's one of the few that actually puts out daily videos still.
I start watching them, and I will sit there and I just get sucked in, and I'm like, why am I watching this and not actually listing something or working on stuff I want to list and product I want to move? But I'm sitting there watching YouTube videos about it. But it's fun to watch.
Well, and I think that's why I like lives, and I think a lot of people that are resellers like lives because they can list and do some work, but they don't really.
Wow. You got a record delivery coming in?
Yeah, I got a delivery. So he always has to warn me that someone's at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple big deliveries.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's why people like lives is they can list and they don't feel like they're missing anything, and they're just kind of having the background and type, and chit chat. And I think that's why I like watching live auctions, because every once in a while I'm like, oh, well, that's a good, it hits me right, and I'm like, shoot. So yeah.
Is Kevin still doing the booth?
Yeah, he don't talk about it as much anymore. I'm the same way. It's kind of hard to talk about the same way. I don't have I like having the picture there as a reference, and I don't really have the picture. So I'm like, I sold some Pokemon cards for $15, so it's just kind of harder.
Take pictures of everything you have in inventory, and then you can put those up on the screen, bud.
Yeah, I have unlimited time.
Right.
Thanks for coming by, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I bought the wireless mouse, and I'm not using it. I forgot.
Yeah. Why aren't you using it?
I'm an idiot.
Problem. You just want your screen to be bouncy?
Sucked in. I like that. Yeah, definitely. That's one thing too. Is like I don't usually watch long videos. Kevin's the one. His videos are like 25 minutes long. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay. If it was other people, I'd just be like, I'm not even going to watch that. I don't know. It's 25 minutes. Somehow, I think it's probably because he talks so much as a teacher.
Yeah,
it flows, and he enjoys talking. Obviously, live chat girl,
right?
Say what?
Kevin's just doing full-time reselling now, right?
Yep.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. Taking that early retirement with school. They dock you on that, Kevin. My mom did that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're done in your mind, you're done.
Yeah, I feel like there's kind of a point where you're just like, you know what? I'm not going to play anymore. I'm done with this.
Yep. Tom Cruise picked up. Yeah. He sold those for good money already too. Who did he get those from? Like the Nicety seller or something? Ella, I can't say her. I forget her name, but yeah, he got all these red line Hot Wheels from like the '60s, made in Hong Kong, and I think he had some made in USA's too. They look like they hadn't even been used, like an adult bought them back then. You know what I mean?
What are red line Hot Wheels? What's the?
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
It just shows kind of the era, but they had the red lines on the tires, and
okay.
and that's just kind of how they name it. And I think they made some new ones in the '90s, so they're not all old, but most of them are, and they're just super cool. He's selling them for like $60 to $100 a piece, and he got them for dirt cheap in an auction. So Harry was probably jealous because that's one thing that Harry's always collected.
You ever think about the fact that we always talk about how awesome the '90s were, but a lot of the vintage stuff is just so like there's so much of it made, it's not worth anything except certain things that's worth like a ridiculous amount of money. Like don't you always say like the baseball cards and stuff in the '90s were overproduced that they're not worth as much?
Yep. 86 through 2000, pretty much. What did I see this morning? Remember Hardcastle and McCormick?
Yes, I had the car. It was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
I saw some the other day, and I think it was on it was a Facebook group, and they were saying that they picked it up. It was as a complete season DVD, and they're like, "Oh, it's got to be worth something." They went and comped it. It was like $100 for Hardcastle McCormick because there's just not that many of them printed out. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's interesting. There's probably are some shows where if you could find some of that stuff because they're so obscure, people don't even remember them, you know?
Absolutely. Kevin's got a Gremlin shirt on.
Yes.
I love that show when I was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was. He got it for $50. He's selling each one for 50 to 100. Gosh. That's what's good about these auctions. I mean, most of the time, like she got $50, but she probably paid 20, so she was happy, you know. Um, but yeah, I've got some good ones. I've been selling so many 45s you wouldn't believe. I'm almost selling more 45s than I am the big 12-inch 33 and a thirds. I need to contact Tom Cruise and say, hey, you want to do a wholesale deal? I'll pay up for them.
You need to contact Tom Cruise, or who's Tom Cruise?
Who's Tom Cruise?
You know both.
Of course.
Does Tom Cruise actually collect records as well, or?
I guess. I didn't know that. I thought you knew I was a Scientologist.
Right.
They don't want me because it's all about sending them money, and I don't have any.
Yeah. Maybe if you could just get a real job.
I haven't had one since Walsworth back in 1997.
Speaking of baseball cards, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how collectibles and baseball cards had a huge resurgence over the last 2 years. And I know you already know that, but they were talking about one of the original Magic the Gathering cards that was graded and rated at like a 10, and it sold for over $500,000 on eBay.
I believe it.
And I had that. I don't think I had that actual card, but I had that half a shoebox full of Magic cards that I don't know if I threw them away or gave them away when I moved out of my house.
Yeah.
But when me and Matt used to play Magic the Gathering in high school, we'd sit there and drink beer and play Magic. And I had a ton of cards from some of the original cards that came out in that series. I don't know what they were worth, but
I sell bulk of them and Pokemon, and they sell pretty good. My Pokemon still sells better, but Magic the Gathering does pretty good.
Imagine selling one card for $500,000.
Yeah. But of course, those are cards that weren't ever played. That's why they're perfectly, I'm sure it was a 10.
Yeah, I mean, they even said they're like, yeah, there's this card. This is the only one like it probably on the planet, and it's perfect.
And that's why that one card that was worth so much money. Gosh, what was his name? Honus Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know the story of the Honus Wagner card. That's worth, like, I remember Wayne Gretzky paid millions for it back 15 years ago. And the reason why it was worth so much money is because he didn't like tobacco. He hated it. And so whenever they came out with a card, they didn't ask your permission back then. And when they came out with a card, they put in tobacco cards. He told him, he's like, stop. I don't want my picture on tobacco cards. I don't want kids to start chewing tobacco or smoking cigarettes just because they like me. And so they stopped the production. So there was only a few of them made. And I think there's only like 4 or 5 in existence. And most of them are kind of beat up. But supply and demand, capitalism.
You just gave me a great memory. Like 6th grade, we'd go buy like some baseball cards and some Big League Chew. We'd have that pouch of the big hunk of chew. And we remember Mr. Shellman.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, Long, let me get a bite of that chew. And
let me get a dip out of there.
He'd take like half of it. And you're like, dude.
Yeah.
This is my Big League Chew for the whole week.
He was so funny. Give me some of that some buck.
We got some Big League Chaw. It's gone, bub.
We started bringing remember we started bringing the hockey pucks?
Yeah.
So it was harder. He didn't like those as much, so he wouldn't eat them.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're making money. I don't have any money. You keep taking my stuff.
He was such a good teacher. Miss that guy.
Yeah, and that's why I go to auctions. Some people just don't want to list it. And which, if you're in a different place, you just kind of wholesale out stuff. I get it. Harry could wholesale out his whole house, take him years. Little gold bars. Yeah, they're just going to go up in value. Especially if I remember right, the USA ones are worth more than the Hong Kong ones. Hong Kong ones, I believe. Tell me if I'm right there, Harry. Hey, Mo, how's it going, bro? Thanks for watching the channel. Yeah, Hardcastle McCormick. I'm way behind, sorry.
I feel like they changed the car in Hardcastle McCormick halfway through. I don't know if they changed the car or if somebody bought me a toy that was like a replica that didn't look like it. I don't remember, but I remember I was seriously not happy about it because I was like obsessed with that car, the Coyote.
Yep.
I would tell people, and they're like, "Oh, what kind of car are you going to get when you grow up?" A Coyote, yeah, with the T-tops, of course.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
looks like a.
Hey, there's who's Tom Cruise right there.
Yeah. Did he pop in right after we started talking about him, or was he here before?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm behind the chat.
And that's because I was like, did I miss that, or did YouTube just realize that we said his name and send him like a link?
I always liked the Knight Rider car just because it was a kit, the name. Because I couldn't get CBS because back when I was a kid, we had the rotating antenna.
Yeah,
and we were down in the valley, and so the hill was in the way. Kansas City was in the way of the hill, so we couldn't get Kansas City stations. So I only got NBC and ABC, and so I couldn't watch like A-Team,
Airwolf. Yeah,
Airwolf was awesome.
They call it Airwolf Traffic in Kansas City, and they play the theme to Airwolf when they come on and do a traffic report. And I always like crank it. And I'm like, I'm gonna music. Like, okay, we're in on I-70. There's a backup, and it's like playing in the background.
You know, I always love the A-Team. I still think that would like, if you want to do another remake a TV series, they should put that one out again.
They did. They made a movie out of it. They made a
movie. Yeah, I remember the movie.
Remake.
But I mean,
there's my thing I do. I say the same thing like 4 times until I get it right. I just keep saying it like Max Headroom. 18.
But it's such a great plot, you know, these old Navy SEALs that become hired guys, and then it always ends. It's almost like Home Alone at the very end. It's like this big crescendo into this, like, you know, they're gonna catch them somehow, and then you're trying to figure out the traps they have set for them. It was always fun. Yeah, Tom Cruise has good auctions. I've got some awesome. I have so many Beatles records. I think I have all of his Beatles records.
You were talking about the antenna a minute ago. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. Kids today, they like talk about technology. And like back when we were kids, we had like a huge metal, like aluminum antenna bolted to the top of your house, and you had to like point it at the TV station. And if the weather was bad, you just got nothing.
Yeah.
And I had
to wait for it.
Yeah. We had to click that big thing, and it would sit there and make a clicking sound.
You couldn't you changed the channel, but it didn't matter. You had to wait for the clicker to go all the way around before it even came in.
Yeah, and for some reason, once you got it off, it was like, I don't even know where it's pointing. Just start moving it until it starts coming in. And then it was just like, yeah, we don't have TV anymore. It's just trash. We had 2 channels in my house. Yeah. My dad bought a DirecTV satellite after I graduated high school. So I had that for about a month before we moved out. When we moved over to town here, we just had cable. And I was like, oh, this is nice. It just plugs into the TV, and you have all these channels. I don't understand.
Yeah. I didn't get it till I was a freshman in high school. I finally got cable, and I just watched MTV and ESPN constantly, just back and forth. Weather Channel too, just ESPN, MTV, ESPN, MTV. You know, because I never had it. It was like quite a luxury.
Yeah, I remember in college, you guys would be watching like baseball stats on TV, and I'd come in like, ugh.
Yeah, I've always been the baseball stat freak. And I mean, that's like when they got StatCast in 2015 for baseball. And they added all these new stats. Oh my gosh. It's like finally some of the things I've said, you know, forever, like they were starting to figure them out.
It's good though. It helps you out now because it's part of what you do for your business.
True.
Yeah. You have like droves and droves of information about sports that most people don't even.
Yeah.
They'd have to do like hours of research to even grasp.
True. I remember like it would have been like 2nd or 3rd grade. We got a PC Junior. Remember those small little computers? The first like computers that were like made for home, but you could actually afford them.
Had like 4K
Macintoshes were expensive, huh?
Had like 4K operating RAM.
Yeah.
Couldn't even download like a simple game on a phone now.
Yeah. But I remember I like got my baseball cards out, put the stats into spreadsheets, made my own baseball cards, and then I lost it all one day because I didn't back it up and because we got struck by lightning. And then that's when it all ended.
The computer back then, you'd work on something for like an hour, and then you'd walk off and come right back and realize it had locked up. You didn't save it. It was all, you just have to restart it. And it's gone.
Yeah.
Don't forget to save.
Kids had no idea how hard it was back there for us.
Life was tough. You'd have to turn on your computer and just like walk off for 10 minutes and wait for it to boot up.
Yeah.
Kicking on inside.
That's
funny.
Harry, when I have a live come in and insult me, we have a bot come in.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always some weird like VOIEXT or something.
VASK.
Yeah. Vask Tech. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they're getting a lot of publicity right now. If that's what it is. There's 5 people in here. So.
See you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in this live where there's 3 people and spam it so I can get some traffic to my whatever, my Bitly account. It goes to my Amazon page.
Shoot. Have you ever watched the Russell Brand? His videos?
Yeah, I think so. That's the English guy with the beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
He's got a good way of doing it.
Persona.
Yeah, I mean, especially because it's only like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those guys that do that kind of stuff, it's like 45-minute videos. And it's like I don't even want to get into it. His are good because I don't watch the news anymore. So, huh?
We're at 47 minutes. Should we turn this off?
Yep. 47 minutes.
You just said some guys go too long. They go 45 minutes, and some you like the 15s. And I said we're at 47. Should turn this
I don't
off?
expect anybody to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I mean, it's funny, short to the point for uploaded video.
He's an interesting dude because he kind of seems almost kind of goofy, but when he starts talking, you're like, man, he is really smart. Like,
yeah,
but he's funny. That's part of what makes him funny is kind of his goofy mannerisms and
absolutely
the way he carries himself.
Well, I think that's why he's so good is because he was such a drunk, druggy, crazy sex addict that now that he doesn't do any of those things, he's like, he still can tap into that, but he's a different person now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it's interesting. I loved him in that one movie. Gosh, what was that called? Sarah Marshall or whatever. He is so funny in that movie. Oh my God.
I don't remember that.
Oh. You haven't seen Sarah Marshall?
I don't watch TV, Anthony. I just work all the time.
Right. Yeah. We're all dumb. You're smart. We get it. It's a pretty funny movie.
Just to anybody that's watching, that's what Anthony always says to me every time I reference a movie now. I don't watch TV. I'm busy working. Yeah, sorry.
I do not.
Sorry, I tried to talk about something besides selling stuff on eBay. We can get back to that.
I don't enjoy things. I list.
All I do is run, play with my dogs, and work.
Facts. Oh man, Amy, she's up in an ex-girlfriend. She's up in Maine right now eating like lobster. Showing me pictures. I'm like, oh my God,
here we
lobster
go.
rolls. I've never even heard of that. Like a Philly cheesesteak, except it's lobster.
Somehow, I don't think it's going to affect her negatively.
No, but yeah. The best thing about vacation is just eating food. Isn't that weird? Like,
that's what Jim Gaffigan
on vacation just to eat in different places.
Yep, you literally took the words out of my mouth on that one. How'd you do that? Jim Gaffigan says vacation is just going to different places to eat food. True.
Pretty much. because when you're asleep, you don't even know what you're doing. So it's not like it matters where you sleep.
I don't sleep much on vacation, but I get that. I get what you're saying.
Um,
Usually the last one up when I'm on vacation. I don't want to miss anything.
Absolutely. We're excited to get up because
you have something to do.
You don't know what's going to happen that day, and it's exciting. That's why going to the same job every day sucks, and you don't want to get up. It's because you already know how the day's going to go.
Lobster rolls are banging. You remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer was setting the traps for lobster when they were up in like vacation?
Yes. That's a good episode. Isn't that the same one where George's girlfriend takes her top off and he's never even seen her naked?
Also the shrinkage episode.
That's a great episode.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing actually, because George is talking about he has to leave for something, and then his girlfriend is like sunbathing topless. Yeah. And Cameron walks by and is like, "Oh yeah, she took her top off," and just keeps walking. And he's like, "Wait, what?" Oh yeah, pretty nice.
He just says it in passing conversation.
Yeah, real nonchalant, like no big deal. Like, oh yeah, she took her top off.
And and it's funny because the other day I saw that on YouTube. I slowed it down, and they like show side boob even on that one. Like, whoa! I didn't realize.
Then she walks in on George when he takes his swimming trunks off. He's like, "I was in the pool." He's like, "Do women know about shrinkage? What's shrinkage? When you've been in the pool and you're really cold."
It shrinks.
How do you guys walk around with those things?
How do you walk? Yeah, I was just say, how do you walk around those things? Seinfeld, man, it's never gonna get old. I don't think.
Yeah,
maybe it's just because we're old, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
I think.
So I had a. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying. I think it's because, like you said, it's. They're always kind of walking it. The episode is always Jerry's dating the girl for like the second or third date, doesn't like her. George has got a problem. It's always like the same thing, and it can always keep going. You don't have to you're not waiting. I don't know. It's not like other sitcoms plots. It's keeps it interesting.
I watched one where, I was watching a bloopers reel, and Jerry started laughing, and he was like, he said something like 47 girlfriends, and I still can't find one I like, but like he was making fun of the show basically because he has a new girlfriend like every show. It just seems like they're already dating, and it's going, and then it just ends abruptly, and you don't ever hear about it again. But it's also funny because literally every girl he ever dated, when you watch it, they became like a famous star.
Yeah.
Every person.
Some of them were kind of famous before, but I was going to say that. It was like 30 of the 47 probably became famous after that.
Like he dated Monica from Friends.
Yeah.
She was one of them.
Yeah.
And like so many chicks that he dated became super famous. I'll be watching it and with my girls, and I'm like, oh my God, you know who that is? That's the girl from this show or something.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it? The girl from Full House. I think he dated her too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually one of the ones I was trying to think of. Because there's a couple that I
always wondered if it was before or after she did Full House. I was thinking it was after. I don't know.
Did you watch the remake of Full House? Because it came back out like a couple years ago, and it has all this, most of the same people on it.
I just list on eBay. I don't watch TV, Jason.
Tell me again. I like to come home from work, make a big pizza, and just sit around and watch TV all night. That's all I do.
I know. Well, how's the ROI on that?
It's good. I'm nice and relaxed. After I have, like 20 beers. Just kidding. I don't do that.
Shots of hot damn.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do they call it now?
Fireball?
Fireball.
Yeah.
I always think it's funny. They always act like Fireball is this new thing. I'm like, cinnamon schnapps have been around since forever.
But hot damn is like a liqueur schnapps. Fireball's whiskey.
Yeah, that's true. but it's basically tastes the same.
No, it doesn't. But it both has cinnamon flavor in it. Yeah. It's pretty much
Both dark colored.
Yeah, they're both kind of like cinnamon colored. It's kind of like a red.
Whoops! I was on something. They were talking about their favorite shots, and I was like, my favorite shot whenever I was bartending, it was always the ones that were like, I'm 21, I don't know what to get, and I'm like, oh,
Vegas
you got to get the
bombs.
blowjob.
Yeah, great. We just got demonetized. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, I'll give you the cash, the 25 cents.
Kids, we're gonna have to cancel Christmas. Anthony likes to use
Anthony sucks.
words on the internet.
But I remember you'd layer it. I don't even know why it was such a big deal. I'm going to layer the amaretto. You put the amaretto in, then you layer the Baileys on it, and then you put the whipped cream. And I'd be like, no, you're not supposed to. You can't touch the shot. You have to put your hands behind your back and.
Your screen just froze for a second. I thought that YouTube was shutting you down because you're getting dirty.
They should,
but
it kind of suck. But I don't know if I wonder if that's me or you. It's probably you.
Probably you.
Yeah. I don't know why it'd be me.
Why?
You know when sports cars really took off was April 2020, because Gary Vee went out and talked about how he was buying baseball cards. He was getting them graded and holding on to them. And everybody started doing it right after that. It was crazy because Gary Vee, he kind of started off as just like a reseller, and then he branches out into so many different things. Then people had never thought about people that thought baseball cards weren't worth anything started buying them. And I remember my sales were crazy. Like right after that, like for 2 or 3 months, all of my Mahomes cards were just, some of them I went to put them up. I went to go put the price up because I was like, okay, they're selling for more money. And it was too late. People bought them. They go in and buy like 4 or 5 of them. Like, crap.
I actually just went back through and looked at some of your Mahomes cards, the sale prices on your store. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Couple $2,000 cards, like 3 of them, I think. And if I would have kept them now, they're probably worth about $7,000. But
why don't you sell cards that are worth like $500,000, like we were talking about earlier?
I'm working on it. I can't find them. I've been digging in some barns, but
yeah, makes sense.
That's where they found one of those Honus Wagner cards. Some guy said he was clearing out his barn and he found a tin and there was a Honus Wagner card in there. That's what the story was.
I wouldn't be surprised where people put baseball cards back in the day. My dad always tells me they would put them in their wheels of their bikes to make that clicking noise when they rode them.
Yeah, make it like it's an engine sound.
Yeah.
I've got a few old tobacco cards that I got in some auctions and for so cheap. I can't believe it. I got pretty lucky. They're kind of beat up, but not too bad.
Not too shabby.
I haven't even put my Christmas tree up. Maybe I just won't.
Why do you hate Santa Claus?
I hate Christmas. I hate religion. So
why haven't you put up your Christmas tree yet?
I just haven't. I don't really have a room.
It's just
I have records everywhere.
And baseball cards and old music memorabilia everywhere. Yeah.
Posters and no. I'm actually afraid Cora's going to get up there and take off an ornament and eat it.
Your dogs will probably eat it. You need to get one of those little, you know what? I just found out what I'm going to get you for Christmas this year. And it's going to help you next year for Christmas.
You might actually get me a present.
I
she'll leave them alone, but I just kind of worry about it sometimes.
Yeah, I have a railing up around my tree so that my Roomba doesn't tear it down while I'm at work.
Makes sense.
My Roomba is kind of like my dog.
You do love it probably as much as I like my dogs.
I do. Not having to run the sweeper is one of the best inventions of this whatever time.
I would love to see you take a walk with your Roomba.
With a leash, it just keeps going different directions. Stop.
You're walking around the park. People are looking at you like, "What is he doing?" I love my Roomba. Okay,
That'd actually be really funny. Make a video about
make
that.
a TikTok video of that.
Yeah, stop walking the Roomba.
You're sitting there playing with it.
And it runs out of batteries. Have to carry it back. Dang it!
So how much can it hold? Dust, like dirt wise, does it?
Why does that matter? How much dirt do you think is going to be in it?
That's what I'm asking. Does it?
Well, you can dump it every day. I mean, it has a little dock that it goes to, and you just pull a cartridge out and dump it in the trash. I do feel like I always thought in the past when people suggested to me to get one of those type of vacuums, I thought it was a complete waste of money. And now I feel like I would pay up to probably $1,000 for it. It's that amazing, especially having not having carpet anywhere in my place. It gets like fuzz everywhere on the floor and dust bunnies, and that thing goes around and just grabs all of them. When I first moved in, I didn't realize I kept finding like lint and like little dust bunnies everywhere. I was like, where is this coming from? It come off my socks and laundry and little pieces of paper, little dust things, and I don't see them anymore ever. My unit gets all of them.
I bet your neighbors below you really love it when
every day
long, they're just like, what is he doing up there?
I had a neighbor at one of my old apartments when I was like in my 20s, and she would vacuum at like 3 or 4 in the morning, like every day. What are you doing? It's one thing to do it during the day, but in the middle of the night, you're in a cheaper apartment that you can hear everything.
Do you remember the people below us when we used to live together in that apartment? They called the cops on us.
Yeah.
I was there one time by myself, and they called the cops. See you, Harry.
Have a good one.
They called the cops and said that I was having this huge party, and the neighbors beside me were, and I wasn't. And by the time the cops got there, that the people had already left from that party. So they knocked on my door like, "Hey, you got a party going on here?" I'm like, "By myself? No." Like, "Can we come in?" I'm like, "Whatever." And this is when I was like, I was like 19. And I let them in. They started going through everything, like going in my closets, looking. I'm like, what are they looking for? Like, I guess pot plants or something, or drugs. I don't know. Yeah. Or people. I'm like, and they were still like, hazing me. I'm like, you obviously know there's one person in here. Like, I was shoveled everybody out of here just before you got here or something. I don't know. It was weird. Surprised they didn't like throw stuff around and break stuff just to be. I don't know. I'm like, it's my neighbors over here. They keep hearing my neighbors, not us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were pretty finicky about it. I think they had a baby or something, didn't they?
Yep.
For a young married couple.
Yeah, I remember they came into Cheddar's one time. I had to wait on them. Like, I don't want to wait on you guys. Yeah. I didn't want to wait on them because I'm like, you guys call the cops on us all the time. I don't like you.
Did they leave you a tip?
It was
like $1.
At least it was like 10% at the most. I definitely remember that.
Back then, you live in an apartment that costs a couple $100 a week. Not bad. Of course, their food probably costs $6 per person. So
I remember thinking they look miserable even when they're out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There are those people that like wanted to have a kid and they got one. They're like, "Why did we do this?
Yeah,
can we back up?"
All right, I'm jumping off here. My kiddo's home. We're going to the city to frolic. So,
well, too bad you can't frolic in any snow because it's Missouri, and
you never know what's going to happen. Wait 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Later, dude. Have a good Saturday. See y'all later. Thanks for joining.
Bye. Well, thanks everybody for joining. We just came on here for an hour, and we just like talking. So thanks for listening to us talk about nothing, and go out there and get some listings put up and go find some auctions. Harry, hopefully he's going to go live tonight. we'll have something to go on and jump on. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jennifer, I really appreciate it. Commonwealth, Mo, Swamp Picker Glenn, Tom Cruise. I appreciate everybody for jumping in for a minute. Tracy told me to go live, and she never comes into my lives. I think she was getting a little drunk in her live last night. So, but thanks, y'all, and grind on, friends.